Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I am here with my public service announcement about 2024 planners. So I've got here a Faith Warrior planner that is from 2019, and you can see here I've got some numbers, but I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about getting set up for 2024. Right now we are in August of 2023, so we have several months before 2024 comes around, but I think because the 2024 planners are coming out on shelves, I know Michaels has started releasing some of their 2024 planners a little bit earlier before like the official announcement from Happy Planner, but I know that 2024 planners in general are like coming out around this time. I wanted to go ahead and pop on and just kind of talk to you about looking at your old planner supplies and seeing if you are able to adapt some of the things that you've got going on. So this planner right here, the Faith Warrior planner, is a 2019 planner, and so this planner was actually one of the ones that I've just kind of been saving. I had a Faith Warrior planner, I ended up selling it. Then this particular planner I ended up purchasing from a D-Stash from I would say like about a year ago, and it's just been sitting in my stash for right now because I wasn't sure if I was going to use it or not. But I wanted to flip through and just kind of show you what it looks like. Just a quick flip through. It is again a 2019 planner, and one of the things about these earlier planners is that it doesn't have the perpetual calendar page. You can see here it has the year at a glance, and then it just goes straight into the currently page. But then this particular planner, the Faith Warrior planner, was unique in that it had like the monthly layout, the weekly layout, and then an additional page in between each of the weekly layouts. So right here you can see here it's a monthly layout. It doesn't have any design down the spine, which is like my favorite way of doing it. I don't like having to cover all of the stuff down the spine, and so even though it says 2019, I feel like this is easier to redate than it is to kind of like get rid of the design down the spine. But then this is what it looks like, and so it's very colorful as you can see here. But again, one of the things that was unique about the Faith Warrior planner was that it had the weekly layout that looks like this. It's the SOAP method with the scripture, reading plan plus keywords, then the observation, and then the application. And then it had this page in between each page. So it has, like it says right here, have a little faith, then sermon notes, then study notes, and then it says loving well this week, and it has God, others, and me, and then like a habit tracker that was for 6 different areas. So it already includes a reading habit tracker, then there's a prayer habit tracker, a gratitude habit tracker, and then 3 blank spots for you. Then right here it says blessings this week, and then grateful for. So I actually, again, I've been saving this for a while just because I thought that this would be something very different for me to be able to use the weekly page as well as kind of like the journaling habit tracker type page in between each week. But you can see here it's again the weekly page and then the kind of like journaling slash habit tracker page. I mean, it's like that for every single page. And so it's kind of like a double the size planner. Yeah, so it's a little bit thicker than the usual like 12-month planner. With that being said though, one of the things that I've just kind of been trying to do research on is like trying to figure out how to redate in the most efficient way. And one of the things that I don't know why this just came to me, it should be fairly obvious. I don't know why it wasn't obvious to me, but really there are only 7 combinations of planners that can apply. So if you think about it from this perspective, every January can really only start on 7 days, right? It can start on Sunday, it can start on Monday, it can start on Tuesday, and so on and so forth. So there are only 7 days of the week, and January, using the Gregorian calendar, can only really start on one of those 7 days. Now, if you want to go the extra step and say whether it's a non-leap year versus a leap year, that would mean that there are 7 combinations for the leap year and then 7 combinations for the non-leap year, which equals a like maximum of 14 planners that can apply. But with all of that being said, I was just thinking, one of the things that would make the most sense is if I could figure out a way to reduce it back down to the 7, because it just makes sense to me to have 7. January just starts on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and then we just move on from there. And having that kind of leap year in there kind of threw it off a little bit. And so I arrived at this epiphany last night, and it just blew my mind. I don't know why it never occurred to me to think about it like this. But if I start right in March, instead of using January as my take home point, or like my starting off point, I can use March as my start off point, and I could look at March of whatever year I'm in. And if March starts in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, then that would be the 7 months year. If the months before that corresponded to whichever one that was, non or yes leap year, then I could just use the pages. But if it's not a corresponding month, then I could just redate basically 2 months. I could redate January and I could redate February. So hopefully that makes sense. But basically just using March. Going to March here. March 2019 is public service announcement. This is corresponding to March 2024. So I'm super excited about that, because what that means is I'm able to basically from March forward, March, April, May, June, all the 10 months after this month, basically March onwards, those 10 months, I'm able to use just as is. The only thing I would have to change is the year here, but otherwise, all of these days of the week, all of that is correct. Now, that is perfect to me. One of the things about 2024, however, is that it is a leap year. And so what that means is that because this February 2019 planner was a non-leap year, that means that basically February and January, those 2 months at the very beginning, are going to be incorrect. And so what I decided to do is print out the months. Now this worked out really well, because what I ended up doing was, because the pages here for the Faith Warrior Planner were like every other page, I was able just to basically pull out an entire month. I'll show you how I did it. Pulled out the entire month like this. I actually did December, just FYI, but I pulled out the December, but I then just put the months like this, flipped it around like this, all right, 16, flipped it around like this, right, and just went on from there. But I just basically got it to where I was able to get all of the months that I needed. I did pick a month that had 31 days just because it made the most sense. And then again, I used December, but basically December has 31 days, plus it had the one that finished out the entire series that I needed. But then I took this to my copier. I basically took this whole stack, I turned it around, I scanned it, actually I just copied it, and I printed it out twice. And that printing it out twice allowed me to be able to get the January and the February months that I needed. Now for January, obviously January has 31 days, and so I needed all 31 days for January. But for February, because it's a leap year, I will only need 29 days, and that was totally fine to me. I have this, and I think it goes right here. But again, I used December because that was a month that worked. Now, if you're thinking about doing this, why should you do this? Let me just start off there. One of the reasons why you should do this is if you're interested in getting some planners that are more design elements, or like more colorful. This Faith Warrior Planner, for example, is fairly colorful. So there's lots of color on this page. It's not as neutral as the more recent Happy Planner releases. And so if you're wanting to get some more color, this is the best way of doing it, is just to get an older planner. And so I would suggest getting on Amazon and just taking a look at the 2018/2019 planners. If you look at for an 18-month planner, like a 2018/2019 planner, I will say that the I think it's October, but the October month lines up perfectly with January, and so you're able to take 2018 and use it as a replacement for January 2024. And so then all you would have to do is basically redate the October, like the month October, to make it say January. And so hopefully that makes sense. I don't have an old 2018/2019 planner for you to kind of see that, but I did this before this video. I have looked up on Amazon the 2018/2019 planners, and I was able to find some for $15. Now again, this would not really be something that I would encourage you to do, or like suggest that you do, unless you're more interested in finding the more colorful, more designed, like with like more design elements on it. So you can find like older Happy Planners that just are like more colorful, and if that's what you're looking for, but you don't want to redate the entire thing, one of the things I would encourage you to do is find a 2019, and so it's very easy to do that. Now as you can see here, I have a page that is essentially all the months that I printed out, as I showed you a little bit earlier how I printed it out. Again, I printed out December, so December was 31 days, and it had the one here for January, but then it has all all 31 days, including the one at the very bottom here, and I printed it out twice. And so all I'm doing is basically using an X-Acto knife here to trim out this edge. I'm not doing a great job here because I'm kind of rushing. I'm moving at like lightning speed today, but I am just like cutting top to bottom, trying not to cut through the sticker sheet, but I am also cutting some of it through the sticker sheet a little bit, through both layers of it. But I did print this out on a full page sticker sheet. This is Beckney right here, Betkey, and I just printed it out on that. And I printed 2 copies, like I said, to be able to redate January and February. And then I'm just, you can see here, trimming top and bottom. And then I go through here and just trim left and right for each of the numbers. And that's pretty much it. And this method, I think, is kind of a brilliant way of redating because, one, if you have an 18-month planner, you don't have to redate any of the numbers at all. You would basically have to redate the October and November. Actually, you would have to redate like maybe like 2 dates because November of 2018 would have the 30, and so you would have to redate the 30, the 1st, and I believe maybe even the 2nd. But those would be the only dates. The last week of February, you would have to redate the numbers, but the rest of it you would just have to redate the month. And so that would be like, for this planner, it wouldn't even have a month. But for planners that have a month right here in the corner, you'd have to redate that. But for this planner, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice. It didn't even have the month. Like, how crazy is that? It's been a while since I've like used some of these planners, but like I forgot that Happy Planner used to do things like not include the month in here. Like, look at that. It doesn't even have a month. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep it fairly simple for this video, and just, it was really meant to be a PSA. I'm not going to redate the month or do any of the things to change it to 2024, but I definitely want to redate here and make sure that it's updated for 2024. And in fact, what I'm going to do is start with March 2019/2024. It starts on a Monday, and so I'm going to work backwards and just make sure that right here it's 3rd, 2nd, 1st. That's correct. But right here, February 2024 is a leap year, so that needs to be a 29, and then I'm just going to move backwards from there to make sure these numbers are correct. And so I'll speed through this, or fast forward through this part of it, because these stickers I didn't cut very well, but I'm going to speed through this part of it and just have a timer here so you can kind of see how long it takes for me to redate this section. I think I mentioned that this was a used planner. If I didn't, it's a used planner. I purchased this from a D-stash. This is the 2nd sheet. Hopefully I cut this one a little bit better. I'm pretty sure I did this one first, so I probably did a better job cutting them. Okay, this is the last number. I'm so excited. I know this is correct because January 1st of 2024 starts on a Monday, which is perfect. I'm excited. And it's now redated. I just had to redate the first 2 months, January and February. Like I said, I made copies of December 2024 or slash December 2019. And I made copies of these dates here so that way it would match for the entire year, and I'm excited about it. I haven't yet decided what I'm going to be doing with this particular planner. I think I'm going to be using it for my catch-all, but it could be something where I change my mind before 2024 comes around. But for right now, it is redated for 2024, and I'm going to leave it on my shelf and just make a decision closer to the beginning of the new year. So again, this was to me just a PSA to let you know about what you can do to redate and use some of the older planners, outdated planners that you have in your stash. Again, a 2019 planner would work perfectly for this. And all you would have to do is basically redate January and February, or if you had an 18-month planner, 2018/2019 planner, you can use October, November of 2018 for January and February of 2024. And all you would have to do is fix the very last week of February and change the months for those 2 months. So I think super quick and easy. It gives you a chance to reuse some of these planners that you've got, and especially if you're looking for a more colorful planner, which the Happy Planner has kind of fallen out of the like marketing game of like using or releasing more colorful planners. This is a chance to use some of the older, more colorful planners that you've got in your stash. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.